today we are doing something a little bit different, right? We are having our Q&A session. Yes, ask me anything. So if this is our first time meeting, my name is Dr. Grace Kakari. I go by Dr. G, and I am a success and wellness advocate. That is my passion. That is what I love to do, talking about your health, your well-being. And I call that Wellness 360. Every area of your life, taking care of every area of your life, not just one portion. So that is what I'm passionate about, and I do this every Thursday. I come on here, you join me, we have fun conversations and learn new topics. Remember when I said ask questions, I also gave some guide. I gave, I think, 3 questions. Let me just pull them up and share with you in case this is your first time joining us. I always post ahead of time on my page, so please follow me on Facebook and you'll see that. So the questions are: what is holding you back from achieving your goals? And then what tools or resources will be helpful to your success at the moment? And then the last one was questions you would like to learn more on when it comes to Thriving Lessons. So Thriving Lessons is what we are doing right now. So one question I received, and it had to do with the questions I posed. This person said, how to stay consistent. This is what is holding me back from achieving my goal. Okay, I'm pretty sure we can relate in some way to staying consistent. So how do you stay consistent? I will start off by asking you, what are you working on, and how passionate are you when it comes to the goal you are working on? If the goal is not something you are very passionate about, most of the time you don't have the motivation to keep going. You do one time and another thing will call for your attention, and you may move to the other and then to the other and then to the other. So what are you passionate about? Is that what you are working on? Maybe that is what you should check first. But in terms of consistency, as human, we get busy. Things come our way. Troubles do come our way. And we do have responsibilities that are genuinely seeking our time. So one way that I can recommend would be to find an accountability partner or system. If you can't find a person, a system that will help you stay accountable. So to stay consistent, if you have to do that maybe every two days in a week, or maybe multiple hours in a day, can you save that on your phone so that you get a reminder to do whatever it is you want to do? Can you collaborate with another person who has a similar goal? And one that comes to mind really quickly will be weight loss goal. And I talk about this a lot because most mothers face this challenge after we've had the children. We want to lose some of the weight that came with the baby, and it becomes challenging because you also have to move on caring for the baby and doing all other things that you have to do. They are all genuine reasons. Can you find somebody who is also trying to lose weight? Then you work out together, or you keep each other accountable. So this person will call you or text you whenever and the person is done working out, and you will also text back. When it comes to learning a new skill, can you find somebody who will check on you and see if you are reading the book you said you will read? Or can you actually go ahead and register for the class? Once you've registered and you've paid for it, I'm hoping that you will go and not waste your money. So just look at whatever goal it is. This person didn't add the goal to it. It's just about how to stay consistent, and that is what is holding the person back from achieving the goal. So find somebody who can help you stay accountable, mostly somebody you respect and you don't want to disappoint. That is really, really helpful. If it's a friend you don't take seriously, then you may probably not take it seriously anyway. So that would be one way to go. Finding a system. So if it will be an alarm, save everything on your phone, or a calendar pop-up, block everything on your calendar. And then as it pops up, you will know that you have to do this. And hopefully you can push yourself to get it done at the time that you've assigned for that activity. So those will be the ways I will recommend staying consistent and achieving your goals. I got another question concerning success coach. So this person says something that can help me achieve my goal will be getting a success coach. You see, success coaches are there. There are so many out there, and I'm pretty sure you can find some in your community, wherever you are joining us from. Most of the time, it's not cheap. You would have to pay if you are going for a personal success coach. But even before you get there to the point where you are paying, you can actually find resources online that will be helpful. You can follow some of these successful coaches. Most of them provide information for free, like what we do here. And on the Thriving Generation YouTube channel, I interview people, they share information about their lives, some of the things they are achieving. I also share tools and resources from time to time. But if, let's say, you are interested in Bob Proctor, the late Bob Proctor, may he so rest in peace, he has a lot on his YouTube channel, and I do visit there a lot. So he's not probably your personal success coach, but there is information out there. If you're a Christian and you want information that you know are Christ-based, Bible-based, you can follow somebody like I don't know whether he goes by Reverend or Pastor, but the late Miles Monroe. May his soul also rest in peace. But he also has lots of resources, and they keep them going. They keep them going. They keep updating his website, his YouTube channel. A lot of resources on leadership, on building businesses, on personal growth, on marriages. So whatever you can think of. And for that place, you know that it's Christ-centered, it's Christ-based. So that is also something to look out for when you're looking for a success coach or a wellness coach. Please do make sure that it is in line with your morals. It is in line with what you believe in, because there are so many people out there and they have different principles they are following. So make sure that you are following the principles that is in line with your culture, your beliefs. That would be great. So that will be what I would say about that. And in the same way as book, somebody wanted to know about books, helpful books. You see, I will also mention the same when it comes to books. I have read several books, and I will recommend that even as you search for the authors, make sure you know what they believe in. They are different principles, and you don't want to be swayed away from your traditional belief, if I should simplify it that way. But a book I can recommend will be As a Man Thinketh. That is one great book, and that principle, or what this man talks about, is also based on what is in Proverbs. What a man thinks affects their beliefs and their action, So that is it. I'm trying to look for the book, and I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon. It's an old book. Yes, it's right here. As a Man Thinketh. Yeah, it's right there, James Allen. So you can look for it. There are also so many other books by Dr. Miles Monroe. Like I mentioned, I've seen several of his books that I can recommend. So please check them out and enjoy those books, okay? Another question I have here: what do you do when things get tough? What do you do when things get tough? Oh, goodness. This is a very good question. And the truth is that things will get tough. I had a conversation with a friend, I think just yesterday, and we were discussing how if you don't take care, you don't see the real picture of success. Okay, when people are successful, we get to see the final outcome. We see the perfect picture from afar, and it's beautiful. Look at this person, how rich he is. Look at the car he's driving. Look at his house. But the process to get there, sometimes we don't get to know everything. Okay, so this friend and I talked about how the process is hard, the process is tough, and there may be some sacrifices that you have to make in order to get to the final outcome. So what do you do when things get tough? You have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. You cannot give up. You cannot give up. That is not an option. And then you go back to what kind of goal are you achieving? What do you desire? What are you going for? If you are not motivated enough, when things get tough, you may turn around and leave. But that is not what we want to do. We want to be able to move ahead. We want to be able to forge forward. Things will get tough. I know things will get tough, but you can do it. Do you know how I got to know that? because others have done it. Others came across these challenges and they did it. There is nothing new under the sun, really. Whatever you experience, then somebody might have experienced in a different version. Maybe not exactly the same. Look for resources that will help you in that area. If you're going through mental challenges, how about you look for mental health support systems? And then there are therapists out there. I have some information on mental health on my YouTube channel, Thriving Generation with Dr. G. We recommended that you talk to a therapist as well. That is also really good. Somebody who will sit down, listen to you, wouldn't judge you, and can help you find the resources that will help you. Okay. If you are having challenges with academic, there are resources out there. If you're having challenges with finances, there are resources out there. So when things get tough, look for support, look for help, and keep going, keep moving forward. Don't give up. If you give up, you will never know if you were going to make it or not. The only way you will know is if you keep going and you get to the very end. Okay? I hope that is helpful for you. What do you do when you have several tasks to do at the same time? Okay, we do have to find a way to be productive, right? Thank you for the question. Victor, one thing you can do will be prioritizing what you have to do. Which one is urgent? Which one is the do right now kind of thing? There are some things that can wait. Nothing will go wrong if they wait. But there are other things that you have to do and you have to do them now. Let's say, for example, you work full time, right? There are work you have to do. You have children, right? You have to take care of your children. And then you live in a house or an apartment. You have to clean the place as well. And you have to do all of them the same day, the same time. But guess what? You are just one person. You can't do everything. So what can you do? Prioritize. Okay, the first thing will be maybe the work has a deadline. It's due 12 noon. You have to be responsible to your bosses or whoever you work with, or with yourself if you are your own boss, and get that done. It means that the dishes can wait to midnight or tomorrow. Nothing will happen to the dishes. Nothing will happen if the dishes have to stay an hour over or even the next day. So put that one to the side. If your child is hurting, your child is hungry, your child needs you to attend to the child, that should be the priority because you have to do it now. So that would be the number one at the moment right now. But after you are done with that, there is something else you can do. One resource that somebody recommended, I tried a couple of times. I haven't been consistent with that because I found something else that works for me, will be at the end of every day, make a list of the things you have to do the next day. So before you go to sleep every night, make a list of all the things that you have to do tomorrow. And then in order of importance, right? So the next day you start from number one and don't do anything else until you are done with number one. Then you move on to number two, number three. You may not finish everything, right? This person said write six things that are important to you to be done the next day. So if you don't finish the next day, start from where you ended the previous day and then move on like that. I have noticed that personally things come in and things come out. So I kind of give myself some flexibility. I still make sure I get things done, but I don't strictly go with start with number one, finish it before you go with number two. I go with start with the one due right now, finish it, and then you go with the next one, and I go with the next one. And I give myself some room for emergencies because I still have little children. If you don't have children, maybe you don't have to worry about that. Sometimes the daycare will just call and you didn't plan for that. You have to just rush and go and get your child. Right. Okay. So let's see what question. I like that. Taking breaks to give thanks. Yes, that's something I do. It's on my phone. I haven't changed it. I do it at 3:16 every day. And I read an article and the person said 3:16, John 3:16, for God so loved the world. So I thought 3:16, it makes sense. It's just a fun thing. Okay, it's not a ritual, so do whatever works for you. Okay, you can do it at 12 and then maybe at 3 o'clock and maybe at 9, just to make it your own. Is the concept of wellness new? Is the concept of wellness foreign? The concept of wellness is not new. It's not foreign. Wellness is the same as well-being. And so far as we are human, we always have to take care of our health and well-being. It's become more common now because of how activities have changed. Okay, years back, we didn't have to sit behind a computer as much as we do now, right? Years back, we would have walked maybe to the station to get a public vehicle, but now we are at the stage where we don't walk, we drive to work, we drive back out of work. So that exercising time has been taken back. Right. Years back, we were going to church in person, we were having social connection in person. Now, most of these things we are doing via Zoom. So it's just taking more effort to focus on your health and well-being more than it has been in the past. Another common example would be food. I can think of myself, traditional Ghanaian food as straightforward. You just grind your pepper, your ingredients, maybe frying a little, just a few frying here and there. You boil your plantain or your yam or your cocoa yam, you add it to your sauce, you are good to go. Now we are going towards more of the frying and more of the saucy stuff and more of the fatty stuff, which used not to be in the past, right? In the past, people would just buy the chicken from the nearest farm. Now, the last time I bought goat meat, it was shipped from Australia to the United States. So just think about it. Killed in Australia, they have to preserve it in a certain way for it to come all the way to this place. So things are not fresh anymore. Things are not as they used to be. Even fruits and vegetables, we are spraying them so that they will look a certain way or they will be bigger in a certain way. Things are changing. So now we also have to take time to take care of ourselves. It's taking effort to care for ourselves. So that is why wellness is so common now, and wherever you go, wellness. And of course, the business industry is also making use of it and profiting of it, providing services and tools that can help people live healthier. So, what are the wellness dimensions? I usually talk about that: physical wellness, emotional wellness, intellectual wellness, social wellness, spiritual wellness, environmental wellness, occupational wellness. All these are part of us, all these are important. They've just changed a little bit from how they used to be, and now we have to put in more effort to make sure that we are thriving in all these areas. Okay, so wellness is not new, wellness is not foreign, it's what we do every day, is how we take care of ourselves every day. It's just that now we have to do more to take care of ourselves. I hope that helps. Okay, another question I have here is about failure. What do you do when you keep failing every day? Wow. That is hard. Failure is hard, okay? But we cannot give up because we failed. I would recommend that if you are failing multiple times, doing something over and over, can you take a break? Look at the procedure you are using. Look at the method you are using. Looking at whatever investment, time, resources is going into that activity, and see if you make modifications, will that work? Sometimes there is nothing wrong with your procedure. That's the truth. Sometimes you just have to go multiple times before it works out for you. But other times it just takes a step back. Look at what others are doing as well. Compare that to yours. Can you make some modifications? Will that help? Will that change anything? Because you don't necessarily have to fail 100 times like somebody did, right? You can tell me that the scientists failed 1,000 times before we got the light, or before we did this, or the Wright brothers failed multiple times before we were able to fly in the sky. And even the first time, it took them only 12 seconds. All those are great examples for us. But it doesn't mean that our stories have to be the same. We are all unique individuals. Our situations are all unique. Look at yourself. Think about what you are doing. What is working? What is not working? Just an assessment. Every successful person assesses sometimes. You see what works, you capitalize on that. You see what is not working, you change, and then you move on. So failure is part of life. There is nothing to be ashamed of. I'm so sorry you are failing multiple times. I'm so sorry things are not working the way you may want it to work. But don't give up. Don't give up. Take your time. Go over whatever is going on. Assess your method, assess your procedure, see if you can adopt a tip here and there. And sometimes mentoring also helps. Finding somebody who has done it before and letting the person guide you will be great. That will be a great thing to do. Somebody who has gone that path before and has made it. Sometimes you may not personally know anybody, but you can follow them online. Some people share their stories, they have websites, they have books. Buy them and then see how they did it, and then do that also for yourself. One last question I have here will be, okay, I see that now. Said practical steps towards building your finances. Wow. Financial wellness, practical steps towards building your finances. That is a very, very good question, and a relevant question, and one that we should all think about every day. How do we build our finances? Hi, Tim. No school day, so we have the kid at home. So what can you do? Practical steps towards building your finances. First of all, think about where you are, your community. Can you find solution to some problems around you? In the past, when I was growing up, I'm still growing up, but then we used to talk about susu. That is in Ghana, we talk about susu, like putting money aside, saving some money for your future. That is one practical way to save money. If you're in the workforce, if you have income coming in every month, every 2 weeks, first step is to put something aside for yourself. We can plan ahead all the time, but we have to make sure that we have something to rely on. If you have children, make sure that you are putting money aside. That is very, very important. If you have children, please, please, please save some money for your future. Other practical steps will be finding solution to problems. And I know people who are providing clothing for people in the workforce. So when I used to work in the bank, you go early in the morning, you leave late in the afternoon. You don't have time to go shopping. So we have these people who bring their official outfits there, they show it to you, and you end up buying. They are finding solution to problems. Problems are different everywhere. There are people who are selling water in places where they don't have drinking water accessible to them. That is one way to look at what can you provide where you are. What are the problems around you, and you can easily find solutions to. I can talk about investment opportunities, but if you don't have the means to invest, how do you do that? But that is also a practical step. If you have some money somewhere that you don't need and it is not your emergency fund, you can also consider investment opportunities. It's a practical step out there. There are stocks that are accessible in local communities. I have some through DataBank. I used to invest through DataBank. My risk level is not the very best, it's minimal, so I do mutual funds through DataBank. So if you don't know DataBank, you can also look them up. They are not sponsoring this. This is what I do and I'm sharing with you. So it's something to also look into. And I'm sure many banks, talk to your local commercial bank. Many banks also have these opportunities for people not with huge money, small money, for mutual investment, or if you want to go the high risk kind of investment, I'm pretty sure somebody can advise you on that. So those are some of the practical steps. Put money aside for emergency funds. Put money into places that will grow. Find solutions to problems. If you have a mango tree in your house, you can start making smoothie and selling, or mango ice cream and selling. If it's hot where you are, kids will love to buy this for a few coins. I don't know the currency you may be using. We will say cents or pesos or cedis. Wherever you are, find solution to a problem. So that will be it for this week. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining for this live Q&A session. I enjoyed my time with you. I want to encourage you to go ahead, keep pushing, keep thriving. And like I always say at the end, we can do it. God will help us. Take action. God will be with you. We can do it. We can do it. All right? Get out there and keep thriving. See you same time next week for our live thriving lessons with Dr. G. Have a blessed week. Bye.